Hello everyone and welcome to another ranking video thing. Today we're gonna be ranking all the AEW champions. I've said this multiple times. AEW is my favorite wrestling promotion currently. I love them. They're just great. I've been here since day one. I have been here for AEW. And yeah, I love everything they do, man. If I can help it, never miss an episode of Dynamite. Literally the things I've done to make sure I just watch an episode of Dynamite some of them are insane. But this is because it just brings me so much joy, man. Like, I feel legitimately just so happy watching AEW. Like, it's a joy I haven't gotten from watching wrestling since I was genuinely a little kid. I'm not even that old, so. But WWE just beat me down so hard. AEW came around and I love them so much. And they've also opened my eyes to more wrestling products as well, which I thank them for. And yeah, but that's a whole separate video talking about AEW and how good they are. But today we're just here to rank their champions. Now, because AEW has only been around for about 2 years, thankfully we don't have that many champions. So we're just gonna rank all the champions and see which ones are the best. So we're gonna start off with I think we'll start with the world champions. So I'll start with the first world champion, of course, Mr. Chris Jericho. And when thinking about ranking him, you gotta think about his title reign. You have to think about just like his character, his aura as a champion. And I think Jericho was phenomenal. I absolutely loved Chris Jericho's reign as AEW World Champion. I will admit, when he won the belt at first, I was a bit on the fence about it, because I thought it should have gone to Hangman. You know, maybe they give it to their own guy, but I quickly realized why they gave it to Jericho. Giving it to an established already star, so people are going to be like, oh, Chris Jericho's champ? I'll check this out. Yeah, and the matches he had, defended against Darby, I think on like the second episode of Dynamite, he defended it against Darby, or like the third. And that match was pretty cool. Then he defended against Scorpio Sky, which was also a really good mini feud. All his promos were great, where he was like he was the heel that you could laugh at, but was also still a threat. And he had some great, funny freaking segments. The We the People Sucks, It's Dead and Buried. The one with Scorpio about Melanie Parsons. The Lexicon of Jericho. The Thanksgiving Celebration for Le Champion. The one where the spoof of Cody Rhodes promo was great, with the Olive Garden breadsticks and Soul Train Jones and all that. His match with Cody at Full Gear was really good. I just straight up just loved having this guy as champion. I mean, he got to come out on his own cruise ship with a world championship and have the crowd sing his song. That's awesome. And Jericho's only gotten bigger since losing the belt, if that says anything. But I love his title reign, and I go back and watch some of the fun stuff from it. It's a really good title reign. And I'm absolutely putting it as like one of my favorite title reigns in wrestling. Next up we got, where is he? Jon Moxley, the man who dethroned Jericho for the belt at Revolution. And Jon was carrying AEW through a tough time during the pandemic, the first run of pandemic, which you got to keep into consideration. Jericho was all crowds. Moxley, for his title reign, really had no crowds. I don't think he ever had a single title defense in front of a crowd, which sucks. For his title reign, though, I'm going to put it in A tier. I think it was a solid title reign, not as good as Jericho's. It was longer than Jericho's, but I think Jericho's still was better. For Mox, you have to look at his first defense was against Jake Hager in the empty arena match, which, yeah, you know, not the best first one. But then he had the stuff with Brian Cage, which was kind of cool. And stuff with MJF, which I think is when he really started to get going. He defended the belt against Darby, and they had a pretty good match. The stuff with Kingston was phenomenal. I love his stuff with Eddie Kingston. And then the stuff with Kenny ending his title reign was solid. But I think when I look at like the 2 title reigns, whose title reign do I go back and watch more? It's Jericho. It's Chris Jericho. Moxley, though, he still had a really solid world title run. Like, you can't look at his title run and go, oh, that was bad. It's way better than his WWE title run. That's for damn sure. Kenny Omega, the current AEW champion as of recording, which is October 14th. I am putting him right there with Jericho. I love Kenny Omega's title run right now. The heel turn, and then he's just been a maniac. This dude has lost his damn mind. All the stuff he does with Don Callis and the Elite, I laugh over. He's got the stupid facial hair. He just makes me laugh. This guy's crazy. He came out with the Cleaner Girls. This guy was awesome. The North Carolina stuff makes me laugh. But beyond the silliness that he does, when he gets in that ring, you know the matches are going to be awesome. The match he had with Phoenix at New Year's Smash was freaking crazy, bro. The exploding barbed wire death match with Moxley, even though the ending was bad, the match itself was still very good. The stuff he's done with Hangman has been great. The mini stuff with Orange Cassidy and Pac, I think, was solid. The stuff with Christian was okay. The stuff with Jungle Boy has been great. The stuff he's doing with Hangman, which, again, they're going to reignite that feud. It's just great. I love Kenny's title run, and I am sad to see it end soon, but it's been a great run. And I will definitely look back at this title reign fondly. And now we're going to move on to the tag team titles, I think is the next best one. SCU, the inaugural champs. They title reign was not really that good. I'm going to put it in C. They were the inaugural champs. They never really got to do anything as tag team champions. They won the belts. Then they had a cool 3-man title defense at Full Gear. And then they just kind of lost the belts. So that's really not that good of a run. And they didn't do anything. I think most people forget they were even the inaugural champs. So because of that, I gotta put them in C tier. It's not bad. D is like worse, like a horrible title run. But I'm gonna put it in C tier, because let's be honest, it wasn't really that good. Then we have Kenny and Hangman. I'm gonna put them in an okay. They had an okay title run. I do think the title run went on way too long. Because I started to get more and more frustrated that they were winning. I'm like, okay, guys, come on. You've held the belts for far too long now. Even though all the matches these guys had for the belts were great, I think they held the belts for way too long. But overall, in the grand scheme of tag team title reigns, I think this is a solid one. FTR, even though their title reign was super short, I really enjoyed their title reign. Because their title reign is super short, that's why they're just in B tier. That's the only reason. If their title reign was longer, they'd probably be in A tier. But because their title reign was so short, I have to put them in B tier. But they were great as tag champs. The Brush for Greatness stuff, that was awesome. And then just the build up to their feud, to their match with the Young Bucks was great. And speaking of the Young Bucks, we gotta find the Young Bucks. I think they're over here. The guys who dethroned FTR as the tag team champions. I think I have to put... We'll put them in A. They weren't... No. Put them in A tier. They were solid tag... They were really good tag team champions. I was debating for them in S tier. But they were really good tag team champs, man. They had a perfect run, which is you start off as like on one side of the heel face spectrum and you end on the other. It's like what Punk did. Punk started his WWE title run as a face. He ended it as a heel because it was long and he knew he had to change it up. That's what the Bucks were. They started their tag title run as faces. They ended it as heels. And all their title matches, I think I very much enjoyed. They fought the Acclaimed. They fought Top Flight. They fought Mox at Kingston. The Mox and Kingston match I really liked. They fought Varsity Blondes, SCU, Kingston and Penta, the Lucha Bros. The match with the Lucha Bros was great, dude. Yeah. And they, like Kenny, just became menaces. So, yeah, I'm gonna say a really good title run for the Young Bucks. And then the people who dethroned them, the Lucha Bros, who I'm gonna put... I can't really rank them so far, as they haven't really done much. So far, I'm gonna put them in B tier, just because they've defended it against the Acclaimed and Butcher and Blade, and those have just been fine. So far they just had an okay title run, but it's just getting started, I think. And they're doing stuff with Andrade, so hopefully that kicks some stuff off. But they haven't really done much. The title reign has just gotten started, so I can't really rank that. Then we move on to the women's title. So we start off with the first ever women's champ, Riho, who, again, I didn't think her run was anything too good. She won the belt against Nyla Rose on the first ever Dynamite, which was great. Good match. Then she defended against Emi Sakura, which is good. And then I think she just kind of lost the belt. No one really remembers Riho's title run, which is a shame, but it wasn't really anything. Nyla Rose, I'm going to put it in the same. I didn't think much of Nyla Rose's title run. The match she won the belt in was great, but what did Nyla Rose really do as champ that stood out? Nothing. Yeah, I don't really enjoy Nyla Rose's title run. Hikaru Shida, on the other hand, we can easily put in A tier. I really liked Hikaru Shida's Women's Championship run. She was just beating everyone and having great matches with everyone. And you know they have the whole definition of the fighting champion, you know, the champ who never backs down. That was legitimately Hikaru Shida. She defended the belt against pretty much every woman on that roster. And she had great matches with all of them. So yeah, Hikaru Shida is one of my favorite women's wrestlers on the planet right now. So I am going to show a bit of bias, but dude, I was so happy when she won the belt. Because it was her time, and she had a damn good title run, man. That was a really good women's title run. And then Britt Baker, the current champ. So again, I can't say too much about her because she's still just getting started. She retained the belt against Statlander, retained the belt against Red Velvet, retained the belt against Ruby Soho, but she hasn't really done much yet. And I think again, Britt Baker is just getting started. Then we have the TNT Championship. Cody Rhodes. I'm going to put B for an okay champion where he was doing the invitationals. Then this is combining both of Cody's reigns, right? So I'm still going to put him in B tier, where he every week was pretty much doing... He was doing the John Cena Open Challenge, right? Every week he was facing someone. And I like how they used it to introduce Eddie Kingston, introduce Ricky Starks. I liked that. And he was giving people that you really didn't think should be getting a title shot. Like Mark Quinn fall for the TNT title. You know? And there were some like really good matches. Like some genuinely really good matches. Both matches against Orange Cassidy, I think were great. Where the first one he had at Orange, where you legitimately thought Orange was going to beat him for the belt. The match with Scorpio Sky, where I thought, oh, is Scorpio gonna win? Because they were really hyping up Scorpio. He's had some really good matches for that damn belt, and I think his title run over both reigns was just a fine, solid title run. Nothing super. Brody, I'm gonna put in that same tier because his title run wasn't as long. He didn't have that long of a run, which I wish he had a freaking longer run, man. I would have much preferred he took over Cody's second reign and just extended his by that long. But man, him winning that belt, that was a freaking moment that will live with me forever. He just destroyed this man. Just beat the crap out of Cody and won it. And that was awesome. That alone gets this where it is. Darby as champ, I think, was really cool as well, but I'm also going to put him in B tier. Again, Darby was the type of guy who he was just accepting every challenge. Every challenger. And again, I think he just had a nice, solid title run. Nothing over that's like super good, but just a nice title run for you to go like, oh yeah, remember Darby's TNT title run? Oh yeah, that was pretty good. But Miro, he elevated this damn belt. He's going in S tier. He made the TNT title freaking something, man. He was the redeemer. This is the definitive Miro for me. This is better than Rusev Day. This beats the undefeated Russian. This beats the kind of laughable Bulgarian. This beats Rusev Day. This is the definitive run for me for Miro. Just a conqueror. Just defeating everyone in his path and being a monster who could also make you laugh with his promos. Like that was awesome. I'm sad his run ended and it's over, because I would have loved if it kept going. But man, dude, this was God. He is God. There is no God. He is God. And Sammy Guevara, he's only just won the belt and he defended against Bobby Fish in a good match. So I'm putting him in B tier because he's just started. And yeah, that's it. That is me ranking the AEW champions we've had so far. Let me know if you disagree or not in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all next time.